Snow whispered across the frozen peaks, carried by the sharp mountain winds that howled through the jagged rocks. High above the clouds, where the air was thin and cold enough to bite through flesh, a lone figure stood at the edge of a towering cliff. Her long silver hair danced wildly in the breeze, catching the faint moonlight that filtered through the heavy gray clouds above. She was dressed in a dark cloak lined with silver embroidery, the hem brushing softly against the snow beneath her feet. Beneath the hood, a black blindfold covered her eyes. Despite the covering, her head turned slightly, as if sensing something approaching. A low growl echoed through the storm. The ground beneath her feet trembled. A massive shadow began to emerge from the blizzard, its form jagged and dark. Two burning red eyes gleamed from the creature's monstrous face. "You..." The creature's voice was guttural and cold. "You should not have returned." The sorceress tilted her head slightly, her expression calm despite the threat looming before her. Slowly, her hand rose toward the edge of her blindfold. A faint smile curled at the edge of her lips. "I've waited long enough," she said softly. She pulled the blindfold down, her eyes opened, glowing a piercing, electric blue beneath the dark sky. The storm seemed to hesitate. The swirling snow stilled midair, held frozen in place by the weight of her presence. Blue light flickered at her fingertips, delicate, yet dangerous. The creature roared and lunged toward her, claws raised to strike. The sorceress stood perfectly still. A pulse of blue light erupted from her hand, lightning arced through the air, crackling as it tore across the battlefield. The creature howled as the force of the blast threw it backward, shattering ice beneath its feet. The sorceress remained motionless as snow and ice exploded outward. Her silver hair floated around her, caught in the energy radiating from her body. The creature struggled to rise, its burning red eyes narrowing in rage. It growled and charged toward her again. This time, her expression sharpened. "Enough," she whispered. She raised her hand, and a thin line of blue light formed in the air. A flash of energy shot forward, piercing through the creature's chest. It stumbled, dark cracks of light spreading through its body as blue energy consumed it from the inside. The creature's body began to disintegrate into black ash. Its red eyes dimmed and faded to nothing. The sorceress lowered her hand as the storm around them began to die. Snow drifted lazily through the air once more, and the howl of the wind faded into silence. Her glowing eyes softened. Slowly, she closed them and slid the blindfold back over her face. "Next time, bring a real challenge." She turned and walked away, disappearing into the mist. Behind her, the storm parted, and pale starlight broke through the clouds.